Several cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin have recently been crashing due to several factors. From the war in Ukraine to government crackdowns on crypto services. A small number of investors have lost all hope of their portfolios rising and gaining value. However, Cathie Wood believes it is not yet time to abandon crypto with the possibility of considerable profits in the foreseeable future. Stay tuned to the video as we discuss Cathie's views on cryptocurrency. After Tesla, Cathie Wood targets two industries that she predicts will beat Tesla in the long term. Despite her belief that Tesla's value will rise at least threefold, she has come upon an opportunity that might yield returns of up to 25 times. It's no secret that many people think Cathie is insane, but at ARK Invest, she never buys anything without first doing her homework. After the split, she bought Tesla for $40 per share because it was undervalued, and the shift to electric vehicles was evident. There are many parallels between what's happening to Cathie and what's happening in the market. According to her experience, both the short and long-term financial benefits are substantial. Many investors have condemned Cathie's recent record, but short-term results do not necessarily reflect long-term profits. During the past years, Tesla's share sank by more than 50% before rising by more than 20 times their value. ARK has unquestionably underperformed every benchmark recently, but the fund has outperformed every index over the past 5 years. Cathie has already been abandoning equities such as Tesla, Twitter, Palantir, and others to invest aggressively in cryptocurrencies and stay-at-home stocks. At this point, some of you might want to exit the video, but those who remain until the end may be poised for tremendous profits. Cryptocurrency is the first step. Regulators worldwide have been keeping an eye on cryptocurrencies for a while. China has outlawed them outright. 8 other nations have done the same, while plenty of other countries have done so in small ways. Numerous governments are failing to capitalize on the possible economic advantages of cryptocurrencies. When it comes to the United States, things are quite the contrary. According to recent pronouncements and dialogues by US officials, the US is readying itself for full-scale cryptocurrency adoption. Many politicians are altering their minds regarding cryptocurrency, as Cathie has observed. Government personnel like SEC Chair Gary Gensler, Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen, and President Joe Biden are included in this group. These are influential politicians who can expedite the introduction of crypto in the blink of an eye. Gary Gensler, chairman of the SEC, briefly covered his new and planned crypto investor protection measures. Cathie's personal experience, along with the executive order approved by President Biden, directing government workers to explore crypto, indicates a more rapid adoption of crypto policies in the coming years. She recently interviewed Michael Saylor to discuss the constantly shifting dynamics of crypto.
You love technology, you know the capital markets. We both have political opinions.
Yes.
Okay. So, why don't we start with politics and regulation and economics? What do you see as we look forward, and how do you think it's going to affect Bitcoin?
Well, I think the most interesting thing that's happened, and we met someone from Mississippi, I think a congressman from Mississippi, and I'm seeing the politics around Bitcoin changing radically because it has become, the single issue that some people are voting on, and this is bipartisan. And even where we've moved in St. Pete, because people know that I'm very Bitcoin focused, the politicians have come to me and said, I want to pull together a room of Bitcoin enthusiasts, and I really want to learn from them what they want from us. Think about that. That is a radical shift over the last few years. The other thing that I see, so a year ago, roughly, when Janet Yellen was appointed Treasury Secretary, I remember her first comments about Bitcoin were money laundering, nefarious characters, environmentally damaging. And then 2 weeks ago, someone's whispering in her ear, and we talked about this, you think it might be Gary Gensler. There is someone whispering in the ears of politicians, if you want to lose, if you want the US to lose out on this, one of the most amazing innovation platforms of all times, you keep talking like that. So she has changed her tune. So I'm very positive here. And of course, we're meeting people from around the world, just met from Honduras, Mexico. I think the movement is spreading pretty quickly now.
The interview began with politics, regulation, and economics. Cathie pointed out that the dynamics around Bitcoin continue to change drastically, with it being a significant subject to most people. She also stated that several political personalities have approached her and requested that she organize an event for Bitcoin enthusiasts. Cathie further emphasized the change around Bitcoin by touching on the initial views of Trade Secretary Janet Yellen on Bitcoin and how these changed recently. Janet Yellen and several other legislators have altered their tune after Gary Gensler was believed to have advised them on Bitcoin and its potential benefits to the United States. Lastly, Cathie is optimistic that the movement is growing rapidly after meeting several personalities from different countries. Nobody disputes the importance of action over words. As far as money is concerned, Cathie is turning her words into action. In the previous month, she acquired about 1 million Coinbase shares, making it ARK's third largest holding. Coinbase has lost more than half of its value during the past year. Considering how much has changed, you may be perplexed by what Cathie observes here. As we discussed previously, short-term swings don't necessarily represent long-term gains or losses. We've witnessed a split in Coinbase's stock price, which has historically tracked the price of cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin is down only 26%. Ethereum is up more than 56% in value over the last year, whereas Coinbase is down more than 50%. This is due to a combination of rising regulations and demand for Coinbase. A price arbitrage opportunity is possible because of the abrupt change in regulation attitude. Coinbase is now trading hands at a price-to-earnings ratio of 13, and Cathie anticipates profits for the company to increase in the future. According to Cathie, Bitcoin will be worth over $1 million by 2030, a 25-fold increase from present values. If we believe Coinbase is undervalued by 50%, this might translate to a 50-fold increase. There are still many skeptics of cryptocurrencies, but this sentiment is shifting drastically, particularly within regulatory organizations. ARK's strategies are experiencing relatively similar trends to Bitcoin and traditional institutional investors. Institutional investors are concerned because of their extreme volatility. There is no index. So as we can all see, getting engaged in cryptocurrencies is a dangerous move. This is a brand new asset type for which we do not know the regulations. According to Big Ideas 2022 at ark-invest.com, Bitcoin might be worth over $1 million per coin by 2030. There is still, however, a lot of opposition to that. ARK predicts that only 2% of institutional assets will be dedicated to Bitcoin within the next 8 years. Therefore, there is no need for a tremendous amount of capital, which is how most institutional investors work, by cautiously investing. After real estate, developing markets, and now Bitcoin, we believe crypto might be the next big thing in the financial industry. The switch to renewable energy sources is another short and long-term factor helping crypto grow. Cathie Wood asserted that Bitcoin is essential to quickening the development of renewable energy sources, since it provides an incentive to buy solar panels. The mining facilities are designed to be proof of concept for 100% renewable energy Bitcoin mining at scale. In reality, I think it will also prove that 100% renewable energy requires Bitcoin mining at scale. She quoted ARK analyst Sam Koros in a tweet she retweeted. The importance of this factor for Bitcoin's acceptance is due to the growth flywheel. Renewable energy needs Bitcoin to be profitable but Bitcoin needs renewable fuels to be good for the environment and scalable. Because of this reciprocal benefit, both Bitcoin and renewable energy will grow faster in the future. When renewable energy sources rise in popularity due to the rapid uptake of Bitcoin, a flywheel effect occurs. Renewable energy production will increase as more people use Bitcoin, and the cycle will continue. Cathie is also quite enthusiastic about stay-at-home stocks, the second area she follows closely. Her stay-at-home stock theory has been taking longer than planned to bear fruit, but Cathie isn't giving up. There is a good chance that commodities will drop as inventories accumulate. There is still a long way to go. In fact, the opposite has occurred. As a result of this, however, Cathie is still focusing her investments on stocks in the stay-at-home sector.
So, Elon Musk and Tesla. So, there is a point that you would get out. I know there's a story you've talked about. You put a mark on the stock price. I think it was 3,000?
Yeah, 3,000 is our base case, not our bull case, but our base case.
Okay, so there is a point where you could say, okay, I'm moving on. You've gotten out of Apple. Mm-hmm. I mean, these are backward-looking companies or technologies that you don't think are, or not necessarily?
Not necessarily. They are very well understood. Their dynamics are well understood. They are the FANGs.
Right.
They're well owned. And we just want our clients to be exposed to the next FANGs, which are not going to be in the FANG category, but the next FANGs. And Tesla's becoming a FANG. You know, I think it will end up in that grouping at some point. Yeah, we would sell. So our minimum hurdle rate of return expectation for a stock is 15% at an annualized rate over 5 years. So a doubling over 5 years. Tesla is about nearly a quadrupling over 5 years, so well within our range. So, you know, we have been taking profits, and that's because Tesla in here, I think it's becoming very obvious now that electric vehicles are taking massive share.
A vast range of businesses falls under the umbrella of the stay-at-home industry. Cathie is primarily optimistic about a few of them though. Teladoc, Twilio, UiPath, Zoom, and Roku are some of the stocks highlighted. There has been a significant decline in all of these during the past year. In December of 2021, for example, Cathie predicted that Teladoc stock would rise 7.5 times in value in the next 5 years. If the fundamentals of Teladoc stayed unchanged, the company's expected returns would have increased by more than tenfold. ARK still has its second largest presence invested in Teladoc. One additional stock Cathie has recently become even more optimistic about is UiPath. Although few people know UiPath, the company operates on a B2B or business-to-business model. The company went public in late April of 2021, and since then, its stock has fallen by more than 70%. This is because sales growth at UiPath has slowed. Analysts still anticipate a 20% revenue growth this year, and a 30% increase next year. UiPath's stock value has plummeted, and she sees this as a golden opportunity to acquire at a reduced price point, and her purchasing habits reveal this. She just acquired about 4 million shares in UiPath in a single week. Automating online chores like sending emails and filling out spreadsheets is what UiPath does, because it is a robotics process automation company. Others believe that the days of the stay-at-home stocks are over, and that the globe has begun to recover from its post-COVID malaise. On the other hand, Cathie strongly disagrees, believing that staying at home is a better option for customers. Stay-at-home stockpiles were already increasing before the pandemic outbreak, demonstrating this point. No one takes home-based businesses seriously as disruptive disruptors because of their perceived lack of innovation. For example, Zoom is undermining face-to-face communication, yet most individuals might see it as a Facebook Messenger on a computer. Extraordinary results may emerge from a fresh outlook. What are your opinions on the crypto market? Do you think it'll still go up, or is it time to abandon the ship? Comment your insights in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and we'll catch you next time.